Welcome everybody to today's masterclass episode. In my opinion, this is the most important topic that we've covered throughout our channel. We're going to identify that there's only 4 levels of income that any person on this whole planet falls under. Only 4. You need to pay very close attention which level of income you identify with, because at the end of each level, we'll be giving you tips on how to get out and move up into the next level. Next to me, as always, Anna-Marie Meyer and Eddie Magane. Are you guys ready?
Thank you. Shoot.
Let's add a lot of value today.
Sure.
I think let's get into it nice and strong. First level is survival.
We all know that.
We all know that. When you're a youngster, when you're just starting out, or when you've made a big mistake, you've stepped on a landmine, even if you're of age, you are earning an income and you're basically hand to mouth. You're in survival mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are fighting your way through only to pay for your rent, pay for your car if you're in
Only
that
good
position.
planning can get you out of that.
Yeah.
Extremely good planning. Because you need to think about, you're either going to choose to stay there forever, or today's the day to start planning.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to decide what's your budget, what can I afford, stop overspending. You need to get out of survival mode.
Yeah, survival is very important, because it will teach you, for the people that want to get out of it, how to hustle. You're going to exercise that hustle muscle, and it's so important, because you don't want to end up in a position. My friend and colleague here has got a very nice saying: may the best
debit order win.
You don't want to be you don't want to be saying that to yourself at the end of the month. You know, may the best debit order win. And I mean, we all started there when we all started there when we got out of school.
I can remember those days
Yeah.
where I had to phone my father and say, I need a couple of rands.
Yeah.
And you just put yourself more in debt. So even if it's my father, and you've got parents or someone that you can get money from, but you put yourself more in debt. And then most probably when you're young, it's to buy a gift for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And don't do that. Learn out of our mistakes. That's the only thing I can say. And we can teach people how to stay within your budget.
Yeah, remember, this is, in most cases, it's a stage where you're learning your relationship with money.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
How money works.
That you learn it the right way. I understand for other people it's different. You still need to start your life. You still need to buy your first bed, TV, but you still need to do it responsibly, because should you get into the habit of overspending whilst you're still surviving, you're most likely to stay there for a very long time.
And I mean,
And you hurt your credit record and everything.
Yeah.
And that's the downfall. And we've discussed those kind of things before. But
big
that
one.
is normally in that bracket where you damage your whole future coming.
absolutely. So I want to touch on something when you're at this stage. If you can't learn to save money when you have a very low income, you'll never save money in your life.
Most unlikely.
What would you say is the kind of percentage that you need to put away for savings?
Sure. I always say, but already 2 people told me it's unfair. But I said, your biggest expenditure has to be your savings.
True. I agree with you. I grew up in a situation where my parents taught me you have to, in your first year, save up 3 months of your salary.
Yeah.
So going into your second year, once you start working, you need to have 3 months' salary minimum in your bank account, and that will still not make you survive.
Yeah.
6 months is the ideal. So next year, you're going to work for 6 months. And from there, that is the kind of money, it's always a zero in your account.
Yeah.
You will not touch it. And that's the way to move forward.
100%. If you are in a situation where the best debit order is won and there's nothing left in your account, doesn't matter what age you are, also doesn't matter where you live, because you can live in Silver Lakes and drive a Porsche, and you're in survival mode because of bad decisions.
Exactly.
At the end of the month, if all your money is depleted by the debit orders and you're actually living from hand to mouth, that's what you're doing.
That's now the guy that goes and gets a credit card and feel better that there's still money that they can spend, but The problem
what
is
you
now you're
mean.
spending what you don't have.
You haven't even earned it yet.
And
You're
the
already
interest
spending.
rate.
Yeah.
The interest rate on that.
On the credit card is a lot higher. So we've been very fortunate to see some of our colleagues move out of
Young
survival mode into the next level. But before we get to the name of the next level, combined, we've shared ideas and we've come up with a strategy. So it takes between 1 and 3 years
Yes.
and 50 business books.
To get out of survival mode.
100%.
Yeah.
And as much as the industry is relevant, it's not very relevant. Even if you don't work on commission, you can still move up a ladder if you improve yourself. 50 business books will give you a thick skin, it will give you strategy, it will shift the way you think about things. And whoever you are reporting to will absolutely see it. Either they'll see it as a threat, okay, or they'll see it as a positive thing that this person we need to uplift. If they see it as a threat, you will definitely open another door for
You
yourself.
will open it. another
100%.
door.
So 1 to 3 years, 50 business books.
And
Gets
in
you to
that
the
3
next
years,
level.
if you save up, like you said, do your books, you will manage to move up.
I'm coaching this young man on this, and as we were speaking, I could see he's thinking what I'm telling him is unreasonable. Saving is not fair to him. But I asked him a question, and I could see the fire in his eyes when I asked that question. Ask him, is your future not worth that 30% of your income? How serious is your future to you? Because should you start saving, guaranteed an even brighter future. But you can do the opposite, and we'll see what happens there.
100%. That's a scary thought.
You
That's a
work
scary.
with mostly men, I work with mostly girls. And for me, that works with them is to ask the question, and I know, and you know that, most young people entering the work environment for the first time don't have medical aid.
Yeah.
So what happens if you get sick?
And you
And
don't have
that's
any
the
savings.
problem.
Yeah.
You have to have. What if you need to be admitted to a hospital within a day from now? Do you perhaps need new pajamas? Have you asked yourself that question? And 99% will say, definitely I do need something just to get dressed in that I can go to hospital
Absolutely.
with. And that's the frightening part of it. And that's why I believe in those savings. And not to scare them, but that's reality. What if a young girl's fall pregnant? So that's the other situation. Have you got enough savings to stay at home for 4 months?
Yeah.
Because that bit that you're going to get is not enough to
So,
cover.
especially at that fragile time in your life.
No, you can't do that.
100%.
And that is unfortunately with girls, and normally that ticks that little button to say, okay, I need to put it
I need
a
to
bit.
push.
Because in COVID situations, can you imagine 14 days at home?
Yeah.
So we established survival, hand to mouth, and it's not necessary if you live in a outskirts in a village, or that's not what survival means.
No, that is if you live out your money.
100%. It could be big house in Silver Lakes and you drive a Porsche, but you've got no money at the end of the month. You're in
just
survival
surviving.
mode. You
Yeah.
just survival mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so our advice, if you're driving a Porsche and you live in Silver Lakes and you've got zero money after the debit orders have won the competition at the end of the month, 1 to 3 years, extremely high focus, very, very dedicated in whatever that you do to try and move up the level, and 50 business books will get you to the second stage. And this is the scariest stage for me, and this is where, in my opinion, probably 90% of the whole of the country lives, and that's lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
But that's the danger zone.
that's absolutely, it's the danger zone because it's the comfort zone,
Yeah.
because it's what everybody else does, and it's because you have
can
reached
easily
your
overstep.
you've reached your capacity now, and you're no longer living from hand to mouth. So now you've decided that you've got a raise, and I always use this as an example. Your capacity, your value that you bring to the market will pull your income up.
Yeah.
Sometimes your income is above your capacity. Guess what will happen? Your capacity will pull your income down.
Yeah.
So you constantly need to be adding value into the marketplace in whatever, even if you're a secretary, it doesn't matter
In
what
the
you do.
environment.
If you add more value, you'll be valuable to the marketplace it will pull your income up. And lifestyle people, unfortunately, income goes up, living standard goes up.
Yeah.
Income goes down,
You
living
can't-
standard doesn't go
You
down.
can't bring it down in a second.
You can't.
Your salary can be reduced within a month,
Yeah.
100%.
but your expenses,
COVID, the lockdown, that was the best teacher. Many people's lifestyle had to be altered at that time.
Yes.
And we didn't even have a choice. So yeah, I think if you didn't learn from that, I doubt there'll still be a even better opportunity to learn.
Some of my colleagues in the motor industry got a reduction on salary of 30%.
most people.
Most people got a reduction of salary of 30%, and it's high-performing individuals.
Yeah.
I know them, I trust them. I'll go to war with them.
True.
They can anytime come and join our company. They are definitely good enough, and yet the 30% hasn't been adjusted yet. They still earn 70% of their salary. If that person brought up his lifestyle to his income, it's been 14 months already. What would have happened?
Sure.
Remember, we're basically in our third year now.
Yes,
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen people that no raise in 3 years. So it's the third year running,
row.
no raise in a row. But interest rate has gone up just now. So what do you do in situations like that? And that's why lifestyle is different and difficult. In actual fact, difficult. Because you've now already lived up your standards. Interest rate goes up. You don't get a raise. So what are you going to do? So suddenly you're back in survival mode.
Yeah. I want Eddie to talk about the rule of 3 when it comes to your income. When is your income truly your income? After how long? Because you've got a beautiful
work on
story.
Yeah, so it takes 3 years. If you can earn the same amount or more, or keep on increasing your income for 3 years constantly,
row.
even if it stays constant for 3 years, then that's what you're worth every
That's
month.
what you're worth to the
Yeah,
marketplace.
Yes.
And commission earners, we see it daily. It's almost sad to tell you that I see one of your teammates is doing extremely well. I need you to watch him next month. He's going to have a horrible month next month.
Yeah.
Because the income goes up. Now he's
Lifestyle
looking.
goes up.
No, not yet. Now he's looking how he can increase the lifestyle.
So
the next month.
he's focusing on
Focusing
lifestyle.
on increasing the lifestyle, which brings the income down. So 3 years. I love that. I really love that story of yours of 3 years. So 3 years in a row, if you can maintain the same income, that's what you are worth to the marketplace. Maintain or increase.
And remember, if you keep your lifestyle here and with your income being here, then you also have an opportunity to reinvest in yourself in any way possible.
There we go.
Because you have the funds left to do anything you want, and the best would be to reinvest in yourself.
And you've learned how to save.
Yeah.
Because if you can do it in 3 years, you've learned how to save.
Exactly.
100%.
You will not fall back.
Approaching the dealership. I've approached it I'm confident and comfortable to say in 3 of the 4 levels of income. Approaching the dealership at level 1 is very stressful, okay, at survival mode.
Yeah.
Approaching it at level 2 at lifestyle mode is also very stressful, but it's a different type of stress because my lifestyle stayed down, my income went up. You are stressed about how can I improve a system, how can I improve a process. Where in lifestyle, like how can I get through the month so that I can buy myself enough food and pay my stuff so that I can make it to next month's salary.
Problem is
Different
you
type of
start-
stress.
Yeah, you start off stressing
There
in
we go.
survival mode.
There we
That's
go.
the problem. You're never out of it because you pay your bills. So you start a new year, new month. You start a new month on a negative node,
Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Okay. In closing, survival mode, people get stuck there for one main reason. The moment the income goes up, the lifestyle goes up. And that's where you stay. You don't have any room to breathe so that you can move up to the next level. We've got a theory, and I've seen it. It takes a longer time, takes a lot more dedication and focus. And this is the area where you need to start becoming a master in your field, in whatever it is that you do. You need to start focusing, and the timeline is 3 to 5 years. That's what it took me to move out of the lifestyle stage of income into the next one, 3 to 5 years. And for me, it was 200 business books.
But that's
5
it.
years and 200 business
No,
books.
but we've tried it, we've tested it, and that's the truth.
100%. Okay, next area. If you graduate to 3 to 5 years, you become a master in what you do. You've read the 200 books, you understood them, and you can apply the knowledge. Financial freedom. This is the area where your income has exceeded your expenses and you've got your expenses under control. Now, you have extra income to invest yourself.
But I think something that we need to ask the viewers is to say, what is financial freedom?
Let's get into it quickly.
Because financial freedom for one person to the other is a different story.
Yeah.
But what is financial freedom to you?
Look, in my opinion, is to be able to do what you want, how you want,
When you want
and
it.
when you want. Because remember, when you're surviving, you can want to go on holiday, but not afford to. When you in
even
financial
in life,
freedom,
And even in lifestyle, you need to plan. But
Yeah.
in financial freedom, you can decide on a Friday afternoon.
yeah,
You know what? I had a rough week. Everything is up to date. I think it's time. Get into the car on a Saturday morning, sleep over wherever you like, and come back on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So your planning gets almost like a weekly and not a yearly planning suddenly.
There's another
That's-
question. There's another question somebody asked me. If you were not to earn any money for 6 months, will you be okay? For 6 months.
But that's when you get to there.
Financial
Yes.
freedom.
yeah,
Yes, you will be, because you've made smart decisions, because you've read all these business books that point you in different directions. You've made calculated risks, bought properties at the right time,
In-
at the right interest rate, that pay back money into your account over a period of time, 5 or whatever years it was.
So you've still got an income without your
Main income
main
being
income.
being depleted. So 6 months, you can definitely survive. You are financially free, and you can do whatever you want with whoever you want,
yeah.
whenever you want.
Yes. I mean, before learning about all this, I've realized that many of us are living on the edge.
Yeah.
All it takes for your fall is just one push. Just
It's
one thing needs
one
to change in your life,
little
and
mistake.
you didn't prepare for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, after reading all this now, I've had a clear understanding of how necessary it is to live today for a better tomorrow.
100%. 100%. So, having the opportunity to have spoken to many, 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 many rich people, wealthy, really wealthy people. I have access to a couple of billionaires, one which I talk to weekly, not going to mention his name, very low-key undercover guy. And the advice I took from him, because he's at a stage where he moved away from financial freedom probably about 5 years ago. He sold a company. It's a multi-billion rand company that he sold. He built up and he sold it. And he's no longer financially free. He's looking at a legacy. And the legacy is, how can he change a specific industry so that forever and a day he's remembered by this and this person took this industry and transformed it into this. So that's the legacy level. But to get there, this is according to him. I can't comment too much on it because I've never done it.
Yeah.
But according to him, the magic number is 5 to 10 years, 5 to 10 years, and 500 business books. So 10 years
You've
of,
got a way to go.
Yeah.
we all do, 10 years of extreme focus. His work ethic is 4:30 to 11:30. 10 years, 500 business books, 4:30 to 11:30 of focused, every single day, problem solving, issue solving, improving an industry to get to legacy.
I like what you just said, and you know that is one of the reasons why I just adore that guy, and he's the most amazing person. And a lot of people take, I think we called it the other day off camera, a scheme. People think you can get rich quickly. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. So you cannot move from the one level to the next level by getting rich quickly. Hard work, dedication,
Yeah.
and long hours.
Very.
When I walked in, I just said to one of my colleagues that today is one of those days that I pray for additional 4 hours because I need it.
Yeah.
And we all sometimes feel like that. But a lot of people will let go. I will touch base tomorrow morning. And that's the trick with him. He will not let go until every single thing on his desk is done.
100%.
And that is the only way you move up a level.
And another thing, you know, I've like I said, been fortunate enough to be I spent a week with this person, and the biggest thing for me was, you know, what drives you, because it's not money. At this level, money can't drive a person.
It's not longer about that.
It's no longer about that. And he says to me, you know, when I one day pass, the way that my family and my children, and he's thinking children's children, so he's making decisions for his grandkids. If I do this, how will this impact my grandchildren?
Yeah.
That's the, you know, I think we're not there yet, but we hopefully will be.
We'll be there.
How will this impact my grandchildren?
Yeah, because I can only worry about my own child at this point in time.
100%.
So we're not there yet.
100%.
And the other thing is with legacy is not only your families, how can you improve people around you lives?
Otherwise, you won't get to legacy
You
if
will
you don't
never
add
get
value.
there.
Never.
You need to do that. So that is not leaving their money behind, financial freedom to someone, but it's how you, and that you've got that.
Yeah.
The way you improve your sales staffs on every single day of your life, that you go out just to do that, to make them a better person.
100%.
So they can then follow into these steps.
100%.
It's quite a fulfilling feeling. I mean, when I was young, it was all about going out there, doing it just for one person.
I will never ever forget the words when we met a couple of years ago. You said to me, "It's all about me."
Yeah.
And I said, "But Eddie, you can't go through life like this." And I know afterwards we spoke about it, and you change the attitude, the mind, the everything, and suddenly it's not about you anymore.
No,
it's about the
no,
people
no.
around you.
It's about the people
And that
around
is
you.
legacy.
100%.
And
Legacy
that is
mindset.
that is how he
100%.
changed. And
100%.
suddenly, but I think all of us, we learned a lot from each other.
Yeah.
And that is one example, because we've been in intimate situations where we had emotional discussions, how we're going to move forward and what we're going to do. But the only way you're going to move up is by
empowering
someone else.
everyone around you.
Yes.
If you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, get some people to help
for
you.
sure.
100%.
Let's go to war.
Let's go to war together, yeah. All right, final thoughts. So I think for the viewers out there, I hope you really took in some of these golden nuggets. I counted like 50.
Yeah.
You know, only from you two. I also threw in one or two there. You need to identify and be very, very truthful to yourself. Where am I currently? Okay? How do I move up the next level? What sort of things can I cut out of my life that are taking attention away from being focused and energized? If improving your life is what you're after, of course, because this is a channel.
Dedication.
This is a channel that will push you, that will challenge you, that will make you uncomfortable. I hope I made some people uncomfortable, because it's a good place to be if you want to grow. So where am I? What are the 4 or 5 things I need to eliminate in my life? What are the 4 or 5 things that I need to bring into my life?
Yeah.
And how can I use the knowledge I've received here to move up a level?
And a lot of times the people need to understand that it's not only what bills I need to cut out of my life. Sometimes there's people that you also need to cut out of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's more, this whole conversation is more. We can carry on and speak about this for hours, because it's not only how to get financially free, moving from survival, moving upwards by cutting down on cost or living cost, but it's cutting down on people that drain you.
What excites me about this chat is, if you are watching this video and you are here with us right now, you've already taken your first step into change.
Absolutely.
Because now you know where the problem is, and we've already given solutions, what the next step should be.
Just take action.
Yeah,
Massive
for sure.
amounts of action, and you'll be fine. Guys, if you, and girls, lots of girls, guys and girls, if you enjoyed this type of content, if you feel it would definitely help or empower someone else, please like it and share it. Also,
Subscribe and comment.
And ring the bell.
just ring the bell. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody. Bye-bye.